Mass hysteria is when a group of people succumb to delusion and act on the assumption something untrue is true. To put it bluntly, people just go a bit mental. In mid-2001, people living in New Delhi began reporting encounters with a monkey-like being. Standing 4 foot tall, it was said to be like a human-monkey hybrid, with some believing it to be an incarnation of the Hindu monkey god. According to reports, the monkey man would appear before people on dark nights and attack anyone it could. Some people died in their attempts to escape it because they fell down staircases. These reports caused mass hysteria within Delhi, with many people refusing to go out at night. In the 1970s, it was reported a vampire was living in a cemetery in London. Dozens reported seeing a vampire in Highgate Cemetery, with some claiming he attacked them. The media soon picked up on these claims, and so everyone in London was made aware of their local vampire. Rumours of a vampire worshipped by a group of witches who appeared and disappeared into the fog. The mass hysteria only ended when a self-described vampire hunter claimed to have killed it, although I'm not sure how many people believed him. We all know about medieval witch trials, but what about werewolf trials? This kind of mass hysteria emerged from 15th century Switzerland. If rumours spread that a person was secretly a werewolf, his fellow villagers would abduct, torture a confession out of, and execute him. No evidence was ever needed, and anyone could be accused. The trials were recorded as recently as the 18th century, and were especially popular in what is now Estonia. The most famous case is known as Hans the Werewolf. 18-year-old Hans was accused of being a werewolf in 1651. In front of a court, he admitted to hunting while in the form of a wolf, and so he was executed. The Mad Gasser of Mattoon is an incredibly mysterious series of reports from the 1930s. It was said a serial killer would break into houses at night and murder his victims with poison gas. Dozens reported being attacked by the Mad Gasser, and his backstory took shape. An escaped mental patient who would pump poison gas into the houses of his sleeping victims. People in the city of Mattoon were scared to sleep at night for fear of the Mad Gasser. We still don't know who the Mad Gasser was, or if he even existed. It could have simply been mass delusion. I mentioned werewolf trials, so I thought I'd also include witch trials, or specifically one group of witch trials that took place in 1612 England. In the towns and villages surrounding a remote hill, 12 people were accused of being witches. After 10 people died mysteriously, they were accused of killing the recently dead with magic. During their trials, several of the accused admitted to being witches, but one of them was especially convincing. She was a one-eyed beggar who lived in a nearby cave. Her daughter suffered from facial deformity, and she claimed to have made a deal with Satan. This spooked locals, making them paranoid that witches were everywhere. 1962 was a strange year for Tanzania. The town of Kashasha was apparently struck by an epidemic of laughter. People living there simply could not control themselves. They couldn't stop laughing. We're told some people suffered uncontrollable laughter for as long as 16 days. Authorities shut down local schools to stop the laughing hysteria from spreading, yet it took several months to pass. In 1965, 85 students at a girls' school were taken to hospital because they couldn't stop fainting. They struggled to cope emotionally for the next few weeks. Medical analysis found no actual cause for this. It was just a random outbreak of mass hysteria. Apparently, that can happen at any time. Chisaki owner is a term I've almost certainly mispronounced. It means slit-mouthed woman and is a Japanese urban legend associated with mass hysteria. She's said to be a vengeful ghost who appears before children to ask them one question: "Am I pretty?" When you attempt to answer, she will stab you to death with a pair of scissors. The legend has caused several outbreaks of mass panic in urban areas of Japan. In 2004, reported sightings of her emerged in South Korea. In this case, it's thought a crazed woman really was chasing children, but the others began as rumors or hoaxes. Before he came to be known as a legend of cinema, Orson Welles was an aspiring radio producer. In 1938, he produced a radio adaptation of H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds. The story was presented as a series of news bulletins, as if aliens really had come to Earth. Listeners across America believed an alien invasion really was ongoing, which caused mass panic. People ran out into the streets screaming about aliens. Some even got violent. Hearing news of people dying in stampedes, the show's producers revealed it as a hoax. They were met by a tidal wave of outrage, but it made Orson Welles famous. In 1518, people in the German city of Strasbourg began dancing. More and more people started dancing with them. Medieval people loved a good dance, but this was different. These people refused to stop dancing. They danced themselves to death, falling down with heart attacks or from exhaustion. The danger failed to deter others from joining in. By some accounts, 15 dancers died every day, and still the dancing plague swept the area. Hundreds of dancers were involved until they suddenly stopped and survivors returned to their lives. So that was weird, but the most weird part is that this wasn't even the first ever recorded case of dancing mania. There was another outbreak in 1374. It was in the same geographic region. So that's the end of this video. If you want to support this channel, you can do so simply by leaving a like. And if you want more content from me, I have a second channel all about politics.